Hi there guys, how are we all doing, and welcome to the third in the trilogy of our Zombie World deck profile, combo guide, everything like that. Today we are looking at combos that the Zombie World deck profile that I posted 2 weeks ago can potentially give you. Now, Zombie World, at least my build of Zombie World, is not a massively combo heavy deck. In fact, it's a deck that I enjoy playing just when I don't want to do massive combos or anything like that. I just kind of want to stall out my opponent and do something that kind of resembles like old school Yu-Gi-Oh, I guess, without playing actual GOAT format or Edison or anything like that. So yeah, I don't go through massive combos when it comes to Zombie World. I do a little combo that manages to set up a little bit of a board, and then hopefully it's enough to be able to stall out that game in order to be able to build up much bigger boards with the amount of summoning that this deck can do over time. At least that's my goal for the deck. So if you have been enjoying the Zombie World profile content that we've been doing recently, then please do subscribe down below, like the video, comment about the Zombie World deck and everything like that. And yeah, well, let's get into the combos.
Alright, so we're going to start off with the most basic of Zombie World combos that there could possibly be. We're holding Necro World Banshee and Uni-Zombie in our hands. So Uni-Zombie is like the main sort of combo piece when it comes to the Zombie World deck in order to be able to set up a variety of different things. And as long as you've got Uni-Zombie plus either Necro World Banshee or Glow Up Bloom in your hand, you can set up at least a Doom King Belladrock, which is, and plus Zombie World, which is incredibly powerful. So, first of all, we're just going to normal summon out our Uni-Zombie, and then use its effect in order to target itself to increase its level by 1 by pitching the Necro World Banshee to the graveyard. Pop that kind of there. So, Necro World Banshee, when you get it in the graveyard, you can then banish it from the graveyard in order to activate Zombie World directly from the deck. That can't be ashed or anything like that, so that's really useful to just being able to establish Zombie World incredibly early on into the combo. We can then use a second effect of Uni-Zombie in order to, again, target itself, increase its level by 1, so it becomes level 5, in order to send Glow Up Bloom to the graveyard. When it hits the graveyard, Glow Up Bloom will banish itself in order to be able to special summon Doom King Belladrock. So it's added to hand, or if Zombie World is on the field, then you can special summon Doom King Belladrock to the field. From here, you could leave it at that, depending on whether you're expecting your opponent to call by your Doom King if you do take it off the field. However, probably the better idea, if you're not expecting the call by, is to take those two for a link summon. Link summon your Vampire Sucker. You are locked into zombies at this point, so Vampire Sucker is the best option that you can do if you're going turn 1. But that will get you another draw in the standby phase of your opponent's turn, when Doom King Belladrock will then special summon itself back during your opponent's standby phase, allowing you to then draw 1. So that's the first little combo that just establishes a Doom King Belladrock, which gets us a negate and a banish when zombies use their effects, which with Zombie World is all of your opponent's monsters as well, which is often a decent amount of interruption that you can then survive, and Doom King Belladrock will keep bringing itself back during standby phases if it does get destroyed. So that is a really useful startup combo for this deck. Next up, we're going to show a quick combo that you can use if you draw. It's very specific cards, admittedly, this is. So the Mad Mauler could technically be anything, but Mad Mauler is your best draw. 1 for 1, you're only playing a 1-off, obviously, in the deck. So drawing into this on your first turn is unlikely, but there's still the chances there. So this is a very specific hand, which we're going to be running through, but it does establish a pretty decent board when you get it going. So from here, we're going to immediately normal summon our Necro World Banshee, and then we'll play our 1 for 1, sending the Mad Mauler to the graveyard in order to summon our Glow Up Bloom. From here, we want to get both of these cards off the field at exactly the same time, which means that we're going to link 2 into our Vampire Sucker. Vampire Sucker is here, and we've got 2 effects to activate in the graveyard. We activate Glow Up Bloom as Chain Link 1, banishing itself for the special summon of Doom King Baladrock, or it will be a special summon once we activate Necro World Banshee to banish in order to play the Zombie World. So, Zombie World comes straight out onto the field. And then Doom King Baladrock gets special summoned from the deck. Now, because we've got Mad Mauler in the graveyard, Mad Mauler has the effect of being able to special summon itself by reducing a monster's level by 2. It's any monster that is level 5 or higher, I believe. 6 or higher it is. So Doom King Baladrock, you can reduce that by 2 in order to special summon your Mad Mauler. And then from here, you have got the option of being able to link all of these off to go into your Absolute Zero Mayakashi, which gives you a couple of negates during your opponent's turn if a monster gets special summoned from the graveyard, or if an effect gets activated in the graveyard, which is highly likely is going to happen. And then, of course, during your opponent's standby phase, you do get your Baladrock back from the graveyard for the extra negate and banish. So it's a pretty strong board, but like I say, requires a little bit of a specific combination of cards in order to be able to get this out. But it is pretty useful, so I thought I'd include it. All right, the final little combo that we're going to go through is again quite specific, but it's how we're going to use the Danger package a little bit. It's a little bit unfortunate, really, that Danger Jackalope is at 1 for this particular build. So we've got ourselves Zombie World, Unizombie, and Danger Jackalope in the hand. Zombie World could also be terraforming in order to be able to search for the Zombie World. And then Unizombie, because we don't need to use the Necro World Banshee this time, we've got the ability to be able to use Unizombie for other things. So, first of all, we straight away establish that Zombie World onto the field. Then we're going to normal summon our Unizombie. We then use Unizombie's effect, targeting itself in order to discard the Danger Jackalope, which will activate Danger Jackalope's effect, and be able to special summon a Danger monster from the deck. And we're going to choose Danger Nessie in this case. Because we've not used Glow Up Bloom just yet, we're not locked out of being able to summon Danger Nessie. We will get locked into zombies very shortly. I'm then going to use Unizombie's other effect, targeting the Danger Nessie this time in order to raise this up to a level 8 and send the Glow Up Bloom from deck to graveyard. Glow Up Bloom will then banish itself in order to be able to summon the Doom King Baladrock as always. From here, we've now got 2 level 8s on the field, so we can go into our XYZ play. So we can Xyz into the Zombie Vampire using our 2 level 8s. And then we've got a little bit of options to be able to set up for the future here. So Zombie Vampire can then remove 1 material. We're going to remove the Doom King Baladrock in order to be able to get that back next turn. And then we can mill 4 cards from the top of our deck and 4 cards from the top of our opponent's deck and choose a monster within them and special summon it. So at this point, Unizombie's a level 4. We're kind of hoping for another level 4 that we can get here, because that'll allow us to go into a bit of a synchro play into Skeletal Dragon Felgrand. But if we mill, we got Shiranui Solitaire, we got Zombie World, we got another Solitaire, and we got Glow Up Bloom. We can't use Glow Up Bloom's effect for a second time. So in this case, depending on what your opponent has got, you would bring back the Shiranui Solitaire. And then we can go either into a link play with Vampire Sucker, as we have done before in order to get that draw, or we can synchro these 2 into Skeletal Dragon Felgrand. And Felgrand has the effect of, if a monster gets special summoned from either graveyard whilst this monster is on the field, you can target one other face-up monster on the field and negate its effects until the end of the turn, which can be really useful if your opponent is going to be special summoning stuff from the graveyard. You can then negate cards as you go along. So that is what I've got there. And of course, during the standby phase of the next turn, because you've now popped your Baladrock into the graveyard, you can bring him back in defense position during your opponent's standby phase, and Bob's your uncle. You're sorted now for a pretty decent board there. Last thing I want to do with this video is just talk through a few specific interactions that we have got here with Zombie World regarding other cards within our deck. So Zombie World turns everything into zombie type monsters on the field and in the graveyard on both sides. So it's the whole kit and caboodle is turned into zombie. Obviously, stuff in the deck and stuff in the hand is not affected in the extra deck, but field and graveyard are turned into zombies. So with Zombie World, in effect, we have got specific interactions with Rivalry of Warlords for a start. So each player can only control one type of monster. Once your opponent normal summons or summons a single monster onto their side of the field, if we flip Rivalry of Warlords whilst we've got Zombie World in play, they can't summon anything else if they're not playing zombies. So they're literally trapped into only being able to summon. They can't tribute it away in order to summon anything. You can't link summon into anything else. You can't summon from the hand. The only thing you could do is summon monsters from the graveyard. But if you flip this up nice and early, then the majority of the time you can kind of shut down quite a lot of their plays when it comes to having Zombie World and Rivalry of Warlords in effect. And then lastly, we've got ourselves super polymerization as well. If you're turning everything into zombies, this is going to go along with being able to summon using super polymerization. As soon as your opponent decides to set up 2 monsters on their field, you can summon into Dragon Necro Nether Soul Dragon, which requires 2 zombie monsters using Super Poly. So it is the most generic one that we can use, providing that we've got Zombie World on the field. It's incredibly generic, and it would allow us to be able to summon straight into that, which in itself is a pretty good removal of 2 cards that your opponent controls. It's really useful to be able to just super poly off. If you don't have Zombie World on the field, obviously you still have other super poly targets in the deck. I just play Garura, but you can also put in Mud Dragon of the Swamp, of course, and whatever else you would like to use as your super poly targets. But I just play Garura for my particular build. But yeah, the number of times that I summon into Dragon Necro and Nether Soul Dragon off of Super Poly is quite high, and of course you can't do anything about Super Poly. You can't stop it, you can't react to it or anything like that, so you're pretty much always wiping 2 monsters from your opponent's field in order to go into this. So really useful combination of cards and how Zombie World interacts. So if you have enjoyed this little look into the Zombie World deck profile, then please do consider leaving a like and subscribe down below. I'd really appreciate it. As always, my name has been Tim, and I release Yu-Gi-Oh! Content every single week, every single Friday. So thank you very much, everybody who has tuned in. Thank you, everybody who has subscribed and commented on the videos and watched the videos. The Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profiles and everything has been kicking off nicely, and I'm really happy with how they're performing. So thank you very much, everybody who has got behind me so far, and I will see you next week. Bye.